All right, now we're going to tackle a real project here. I'm going to put a floor in this thing and then get it ready for carpeting. You got 3/4 inch plywood, rough on both sides. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around the wheel wells, the front and back of the wheel wells. This will go in tight. I'll do the same on that side. A little bit more obstacles. I got this, I got the wheel well, and then the heater. The heater's right in line with the outer part of the fender well, so I'll just go straight out. So I'm going to cut this out, move it in, put the other one on, move it in that way, and then cut whatever difference there is, and then I'll lay it up front there, or at least all on the side, so that I got full coverage of the floor. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just square this out in the back here. So I got 4 3/4. I just want to make sure and a little bit. There. It doesn't have to be exact, but as close as we can get it. I'm just going to physically mark where I have to cut. So I got to cut right here, and then I'll get on the other side. I'll get the big door open here. And I cut here. So we've got a little bit of room. And then we're going to go against this bracket right here. We're going to go tight up to that. So I need to cut 8.5 inches. So this is going to be 8.5. Check. 8.5, and then I got a square. So that's my cut line there. And then we'll do the same over there. So 8.5 inches. Make sure that's 8.5 is going to work. Yes, it will. I get it as straight as I can. I mean, it's not critical because it's going to be covered, but the more square it is, the better it's going to be. So then, this part here, draw a line, and then that gets cut out. So, got to get a straight edge. And yeah, we'll get a straight edge there. I'll draw that line and I'll slide this out, cut it, and then set her down. Then I'm going to use wood screws or sheet metal screws. I'll just drill right through and countersink them so that the screws aren't sticking up, and then we'll play her up that way. Okay, got the straight edge here. Just slide this out. Good. And then I'll just come in on the other side here. Okay, now I'll slide this out and see if I can cut it in here, or at least without having to lift this out of here. Fairly stable. Okay, now skill saw that I've had for most of my life. All right, let's see if I did this right. Let's get my air gun. Okay, fits as intended. Now I got to cut out the opening on the big door here and the sliding door. So I got to cut this out here. So we'll do that next, and measure that off, and then yeah, one panel done. So I'm going to do it to here, and right about here. So 7 inches, so it's 7 inches here. We're going to measure 7. We've got a straight line. Like that. Should do the trick. So I'm going to make it a little bit further in. I'm going to make it a little further in here. Just so I have enough clearance. I don't want to have it too tight. So we've got 1 3/4 inches. Leave it on 1 3/4. 1 3/4. So, next cut. Okay, get this thing out. All right, so I got it up on the sawhorse. You can see this. There you go. 2 cuts. We'll slide this back in. We'll slide it back in here and yeah, start on the other piece. Okay, first I'm going to sweep this out and then we'll catch up when I got that in there. There's the finished this side. So I'm going to do this side, and but first I'm going to put a couple screws in here just because I don't want it to go anywhere, and I'm not going to go nuts with the screws. I'm just going to do 4 corners, and that's all that's really necessary with this. So almost done. The easy part. Then I got to fit up there by the seats. I got to hopefully have enough wood left over to just lay a couple of planks down there, or 1 or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so drill this down now. I'm going to get it through the high points. So 1 goes here. I'm just going to drill. I got this taped off so I don't go too, it doesn't really, so this should do the trick. No, I don't have to do that. And let's see if this will just go right through here. One down. All right, now we got the other piece. Measure it out. Actually, I'm gonna measure it out and then cut it. So we got to measure from here to here, there to there. This is I'm gonna cut around, so I'll just here. I'm not talking to myself here. I'm gonna cut around this, go to here, cut around, and then straight past the heater, which is up front there in the middle. And then I might make a little toolbox or something like that to fit in whatever room's left there. So let's get that going. Okay. This is a heavy piece of wood. There we go. Okay, now we'll take some measurements and see where that gets us here. Okay, so the first measurement is going to be from here to here. So we've got, we're going to go 21 and 7/8. So let's just write that down. 21, 7/8. Now from I gotta go 4 inches, I believe. All right, that's the easy part. Now we're going to cut around the fender well. See where that goes. Okay, so we're going to go 7.5 inches from, that'll give us plenty of clearance. Okay, so before I cut, I got to do a point of reference. I got to get this 21 and 7/8. So I'm going to measure that out again here, and then I'm going to put a line on. Draw a line. And I got a measure point here, and if everything works out, and 7 inches. Then 13 inches. Puts me here. So seven inches is 18 inches. So from here, okay, so that's right on the money. Then we measure the wheel well again. Forget what I measured before. Actually, this is going to go, we're going to do quite a big cut here. Okay, we'll go 56.5 inches. I'm about to lose battery here, so I'm going to measure this out, charge this battery up, and let's see the finished cut, and then hopefully it fits. One of those things. Okay, stay tuned. All right, moment of truth. Got it cut. Let's see if I did it right. So I'm going to so here's what I got to do. I'm a little show you here. I got to cut this down. I'm a little tight here, and then I think everything will be good because it's sitting on here. We got clearance there, so I just got to cut a ½ an inch off of that. That should do the trick, so that's easy. Okay, I'll get that done and we'll do another fit. Otherwise, it's going to look good once I get carpet on it. Okay, let's try this again. See here. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. Fits. A little bit of clearance there, but it's not a big deal. Basically it. So I'm going to screw this one down. Then I'll look at doing the front there. And yeah, we'll take it from there. All right, so now we got this panel set in. And now it's just a matter of bolting her down. Get it lined up here. Squared up there. There we go. And gotta see where the rails are, so we'll put one here. Okay, finished product, and I also installed some D-rings, and now I can take a couple of 3 mountain bikes. I've only got 2 D-rings installed for now, or 3, but that ain't going anywhere. And yeah, so off to the races. So I got to finish building around the fender wells. I got to build boxes around that. I don't have enough wood, so both sides there, and then I'm going to build I have enough wood now. I'm going to build a toolbox up front there. It's just not going to happen today. I'm running out of time. So there, and then eventually this will be carpeted. Probably get a carpet kit. Costs more to ship the carpet kit than what the actual kit itself costs, but whatever. So today is done. We'll move on to the next episode, which will be an update on that. All right, so the last part of doing this floor is I want to put a cabinet or a toolbox in that area there between the heater and that tote. So I was going to cut up some of the wood that I had left over, make a cabinet. So I got this left over here. And then I realized I already have a box made up. I don't know who made it and how I got it, but I got one. So this fits perfect in that little corner there. So I'm going to make a lid. I'm going to hinge it. I'm going to bolt it to the ground, to the wood there, screw it in, and then this project will be finished. So let's get to work here. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to trace out what I need here for the lid. And I'm just going to cut, let's get that squared up. Okay. Should do it there. And we'll go with a little bit better. So I'm going to cut. Cut once, measure twice. Okay, so get that cut up and then hinge it on, and then we'll screw it into that, bolt it down into the van here. Oh, that's nice. Now we'll let up like that. So not quite square, but it doesn't really matter. Before I do that though, I'm just gonna get my angle grinder. I'm just gonna clean up these edges here. Okay, so I'm using an old kind of worn out flapper disc here because I don't want to wreck a new one. The wood and the resins there can kind of gum the things up, but there. Now it's, you can even put this thing in your kitchen, it's so nice. All right, so I've got some hinges. Let me grab those. I got a magnetic closer thing, latch, and then we'll put a knob on there and we'll finish this off real quick. Okay. Screw these on here. There you go. I'm going to drill a hole there. Put a knob. I want to countersink this. I'm going to put 3/8 bolts through here. Just got to make sure that this is going to countersink properly. So let me just grab a bolt here. Actually found a 13/16 wood drill bit. So I'm going to use that. I don't go too deep. And put a bolt here. Okay, that countersink's perfect. Get a little deeper. Don't want to get it here. Okay, so that's flush now. Now I'll just take get a 3/8 drill bit. Actually, I have a couple sizes up here. Drill bit. And this, and I got my pilot hole right here. So, okay. Now, there. Okay, so what am I going to use for a knob, you ask? I am going to, seeing as the interior on the truck is blue, I've got an assortment of gear shift knobs, and I happen to have a blue one. So that's all mucked up. That's not going to work. So I will use, how about this? What's this 8-ball? That's drilled out to a 1/2 inch. Eventually this will come off. There we go. Gotta get a shorter bolt. All right, grab a shorter bolt here. Grab a 1 inch. That should do the trick. There. Oh man. Now I have a magnetic. Okay, I got this little deal as magnetic latch. I don't really think I need it, but there's nothing else to keep it from bouncing around in the truck on bumpy roads, making a bunch of noise. So this will get a witness mark and get it where it needs to be. So stay tuned, hang on. Okay, even better and a little less messy, I got a paint stick here. So I'm just going to put a bunch of that. Gives me ooh, that's pretty strong. Okay, that'll work. Okay, now we're going to mount this in the van. Just going to clean up here, get this stuff put away, and then we'll get to the van. All right, so here's the finished box. It's going to go right here. What I'm going to do is, I've got these little L brackets here. I'm going to bolt them in inside here. I'll do 4 corners and a couple in the middle here, and that'll secure it. So let's get going. Make sure that these fit. Oh yeah, I just need a little bit of encouragement, but get the first one in. Okay. Okay. Okay, got the last bracket to go in. 4 is going to do the trick. Hopefully you can see this. I think you can. And one last bolt and we're done. That's going to be the one that's going to fight me. It's pretty hot in here. There we go. Done. Now, once I do carpeting in here, I'll cover this with carpeting. Make it look a little nicer. But essentially, we're finished. And it ain't going nowhere. So that's it. She's in. Now, a lot of this junk I got lying around here I can put in there. A lot of this is project stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's all going to get covered anyhow. So, it's not like it's going in a major house here. But this will do the trick for now. So, thanks for watching this one. And there will be more. So follow along as I fumble my way through this van and getting it up to par. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe and stay tuned for more.